Hello, everybody. Hey, 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 it's Alicia Couri here, and I am excited to bring you this Small Business Saturday shout outs. So, a couple weeks ago, I spoke with a friend of mine, and we did this little impromptu thing about him and his business and stuff on Saturday. And as we were discussing, as people were chiming in on the chat, we thought, hey, maybe we should make this a thing. So we made it a thing. So Small Business Saturday shoutouts starts today. And my first guest with me that is in the green room waiting for me right now is Thomesa Lydon. So I'm going to bring up Miss Thomesa. Let me read you a little bit about Miss Thomesa. Thomesa is the author of Smart Living for Seniors, How to Make the Best of the Rest. She's a concierge realtor with ReMax Excalibur in Arizona and CEO of Lydon Senior Pathways, a frequent speaker on senior real estate and relocation on NASDAQ, Harvard Club of Boston, Coca-Cola, Mercedes-Benz, West Point, and on ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox TV News, and talk shows. Thomesa is a real estate specialist for seniors and a smart sizing expert, provides comprehensive one-stop relocation planning, move management, and real estate services so seniors can enjoy the next living chapter of life by creating a plan, a strategic plan. I see that Lisa is here with me as well. So let me introduce Lisa. And so Lisa's at the top. She's moving around a little bit, but she is at the top of the hour for us is Lisa. And then we'll bring back in Thomesa because if you don't mind, Thomesa. So
not at all.
Yay. So let me share with you Miss Lisa Sussman. There's Lisa. Oh, there you are. Hi. Great to see you too. So let me share with you about, today I've been like doing a bunch of interviews, so I'm so excited.
I'm going to raise my volume real quick, okay?
Yes, raise your volume. Go ahead. We got to get the volume up. She's hanging out in the salon. Do you?
Okay, I think that we are ready. I wanted to join you today from Ivy Lee's. It's one of my favorite small businesses to be able to come and spend time, and they've been doing my hair and makeup and helping me through all of my appearances for years.
There we are. So we got another shout out in a shout out.
That's right.
A shout out in a shout out.
With talking about small business. It made a lot of sense. During the beginning of COVID, I decided with the owner, Lisa Basta, to open a photography company here called Blow Up Photo. Mm-hmm. It really is an upper tier package of what the girls are already offering here, which is really customized makeup and hair and extensions and microblading. So they do everything, and their location is fantastic in East Boca.
East Boca. We love Boca. So Lisa, let me tell you about Lisa, because Lisa is my queen sister here. She is the former editor-in-chief of Fort Lauderdale Fashion Week magazine. And in the last year, she's been working on the foundation of Women of Achievement based in Los Angeles, California. Both of us were pageant contestants and won the Mrs. Elite United States Women of Achievement title. Both here from Florida. And she holds a national title as well as a U.S. ambassador title with Women of Achievement as well. She works to highlight women and their platforms to connect business, media, and philanthropy. As you can see, she's already promoting women businesses where she is right now at the salon. So Lisa, how did you get involved with Women of Achievement?
Women of Achievement approached me when they realized the work that I was doing to highlight homeless here in South Florida. I was interviewing principals such as Tony Robbins and workers through Hay House, Gabby Bernstein, and the topic of everyone deserves a home kept coming up. And so small homes, tiny homes, working to bring container homes to be able to create communities for our veterans. I do believe that everybody needs a home. And so when I went to California as Mrs. Florida, I was there explaining myself, and one came my new U.S. national title. And it was so great to crown you as my, in 2020.
We get another Florida.
Of Florida
A
representatives
trifecta
in
of
there with Women
Florida.
of Achievement.
That would be awesome. So if you look at my profile picture on Facebook, that is Lisa crowning me this year as Mrs. Elite United States Woman of Achievement. So I had Mrs. Florida crown me, and she was Mrs. US. So it was wonderful. It was great hanging out in California with all the women and going through that experience as well with Lisa. And now you're working with creating WOA magazine, which is Women of Achievement, but the WOA magazine. How did that come about?
WOA magazine really came about as a brainchild through the CEO and creator of Women of Achievement, Marlena Martin. It was something that was in her wheelhouse for years, and my ability to be able to pull that platform together really came off of the work that I was doing with the creator of Fort Lauderdale Fashion Week, Florentino West. I worked on that platform for a few years. I built Fort Lauderdale Fashion Week magazine into a platform that I felt really comfortable handing that off. And so the world of fashion then led me into the world of being able to really highlight women in business, media, and philanthropy. And that's exactly what we're doing through the magazine.
Yeah. Which is an amazing thing, because it's not just a magazine about pageants, or it's really about highlighting, which is why I love Women of Achievement, because it's about highlighting women in all these different areas that we thrive in. You know, when you're talking
as
about
women,
business.
I think that we are stronger when we rise up together.
Right.
Supporting one another, highlighting the things that we're all doing, collaborating. This is the biggest concept that I try to get through with the magazine, especially in my Q&As with the principals that I interview.
Yeah.
The next issue will be rolling out digitally in January, when we cover the international and California delegates, as well as the national competition that will be held in Los Angeles in January.
Yay. So I'll see you in January for sure in California again.
I'm so excited to hear that you're going to be there. I didn't know that. So that's an absolute bonus.
I'm going to be there in California in January. Yay. But, you know, women in business, it's such a great platform. Women of Achievement, the magazine, to highlight women in business, because a lot of times we're left out of certain things. So this is about lifting everybody up, like you said.
That's right. And the women really have relative things to say. They're not just talking about business. They're talking about supporting charity and supporting ideas that we hear in our news every day. Sex trafficking. We're talking about highlighting cancer, whether it's in women or men. In last year's national, I brought in Susan G. Komen Foundation, and we highlighted the things that women suffer and are continually struggling with breast cancer. So this is a very broad platform. Through the magazine, we give these women a place to be able to advertise, as well as be able to have a voice. So we're working with companies like Toastmaster and TEDx, and these are the women, as you know, who have these broad backgrounds, and they really want to be able to carry this national title.
Yes. And what are you doing? Because I know you were working with some container houses, but what are you doing now with the container houses?
I now have a U.S. ambassador title with Women of Achievement, and that title is bringing me into places like the Bahamas and being able to bring homes back in after devastation. I've reconnected with leaders from the Red Cross. I will be interviewing Joanna Knight, who is the head of the American Red Cross in Los Angeles, when I am there next week. I've been asked to come in and host the international event for Women of Achievement, which will be held at the Embassy Suites Hilton in Orange County next weekend, 19th and 20th of September.
That's awesome. How often does the magazine, does it come out?
So we changed to a digital platform, much like the O magazine. These are platforms where you're able to connect all year round. Everybody is really working more of a digital content than they are a paper content. With the compliance of COVID and CDC ruling, we're not even allowed here in Ivy Lease to have publications around for people to pick up and touch. So to be able to access this information digitally has really been a very post-COVID way of handling this women's business.
Yeah. What are you looking for support from the community?
I really think that being able to find a place within a publication to have other like-minded business women support one another, such as if you are an attorney and you would like to run ads in the magazine and have a platform to be able to speak about what it is that drives you as a businesswoman. If you are an author, if you're somebody who has a voice as a public speaker, these are the types of people that we really want to hear from. These are the women that we want to be able to interview and support on a year-round platform.
Excellent. So ladies with businesses out there, if you're listening, this is something that you can contact Lisa if you
Yes.
want to either advertise, or if you're looking to write an article, or you want to be interviewed for the magazine, contact Lisa. So Lisa, give us your contact info so that
The
we can.
best email for me is woa.mag@gmail.com, or you can contact me directly very easily. Contact Lisa Sussman at gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Follow us on our social media platforms. Here in Boca, I can be found over at Ivy Lee's, where I have my photography company, and I always want to hear from photographers who are looking for jobs. I want to be able to employ those who are not finding employment right now. These are photographers that were photographing all the models on the runway. There are no events anymore, and so
Yeah.
I have work for you. Contact me. We are happy to be able to collaborate that way. And if you are a writer or you're a blogger and you have a client that you really would like to focus on, or if you are somebody who is looking to join an organization like Women of Achievement, we're always looking to hear from you.
Excellent. And, again, she's supporting other businesses. So if you're a photographer, if you're looking to write something, if you want to be interviewed for the mag, there's so many opportunities that Lisa has just shared. Um, that if you are a
Advertising in a
business owner
magazine and being seen on a national
on a
platform.
national
That is
level.
the biggest one that I can offer you, because the other women that are looking at your media are women who are all professionals and they all want to collaborate and work together. From Las Vegas to New York to Chicago to Miami, we cover the entire nation.
And also, you can reach out to Lisa. She's a part of the Small Business Saturday shout out group too. So you can just tag her in a comment to connect with Lisa. What else is going on, Lisa, for you? How were you able to
Well,
shift
events are
with
really
COVID?
starting to open up again. And so I'm very excited to be able to come in and host some of the things that are going on in California. It feels very new to me to be able to be out there traveling again and being able to connect, working with this medium. Here in South Florida in Palm Beach County, where I live, we're moving into phase 2. So
Hmm.
being able to go in and listen to other public speakers speak again, and go down and meet with all of my platforms on sustainability. I was working with Antonio Banderas through Miami Fashion Week, and being able to work with Barbara Pulanicki from House of Biba. These are all people who are very passionate about sustainability, going green, recycling, and supporting what it is that we need to do as a community, really of humans, to be able to just have a safe, clean place that we can all live. And so these are the conversations that I really want to talk about.
Yeah. Uh, how are your kids doing through all of this?
Well, so I have a sophomore in high school who has decided not to go back when public schooling opens up here on the 21st. She's doing really great virtually. They have a fantastic program. And then I have 2 boys that also are on the virtual. And everybody is doing as well as can be expected here in Florida, with our numbers still the way that they are.
Yeah, that's great. Praise the Lord that
Yes.
they're doing good. Because
Yes.
I know the start of school virtually, there was some hiccups for us here in Dade County. So we're still battling through that with my
Yeah,
kids.
I'll, like I said, be flying to LA on Friday and meeting with a team from the magazine, and we will have more information for you going forward about what that platform is going to look like. I will be interviewing Robbie Motter. Robbie Motter is the head of NAFE, National Association of Female Executives. This
Hmm.
is a national chapter. They have actually asked me to head the Palm Beach chapter of NAFE. This is something that I'm looking to develop. I
Right.
really feel as though the charity funding would not be there at this point here in Palm Beach without being able to hold events. So I'm looking to keep the numbers safe while getting everyone's message out. And that's what I can do on these digital platforms that I have. Our outreach is tremendous because we start in LA and then we bounce across the United States. So everybody is welcome to participate. Everyone has a voice.
Everyone has a voice. Thank you so much for that, Lisa, because I'm really excited that you are heading this, that you're rolling this magazine now. Um, what is next for the magazine other than, now we've gone digital. Um, when you're looking in January, what is the plan
Well,
moving
Marlena
forward?
is looking to turn her Teen Achieve pageant into her charity work because that is very educational based. Those young women range from the ages of 18 to 25, and as we all know, the cost of education is through the roof. And now that we're all doing this virtual learning, we've got a lot of movement that we didn't have before. I have a lot of friends with college age kids that aren't paying that tuition for those virtual classes. And so we have to be able to wonder how it is that these young women are going to be able to understand how it is to work in a boardroom and to be able to collaborate and to be able to come together as a team. And so being able to be highlighted in a magazine or be a part of a foundation like Women of Achievement, that is the extra that I think that we're missing as far as not being able to communicate with one another face to face, coming together for these events and then supporting each other all year round. That will be the platform. So I'm looking forward to Teen Achieve and being able to really highlight that as a charity and be able to raise big dollars for education for young women.
That is beautiful. There's also a mentorship element with that too, right?
There absolutely is, because of the women that are involved with Women of Achievement, as well as some of the age groups that do compete within that brand. There is a mentorship, a sisterhood, if you will. And so at the events, you will find that there is a tremendous amount of support for what goes on there. It's wonderful. It's an amazing platform to be a part of because of the level of collaboration. And it's year after year that these women come back. And again, they're developing their own platforms. They may be public speakers for TEDx, and now they're coming back as an author and they're speaking at our events and then using our platform to grow.
I love that because, again, the whole behind Women of Achievement, the whole thing behind Women of Achievement is not just you have to show up with everything already done. It's what is your passion? What is your mission? What are you doing out there? And then let's give you a platform to do it on a bigger level, on a
That's
bigger
right.
scale, on a
That's
greater,
right. And how can
yeah,
we all grow together? Because when you are out there and you are collaborating with these women, at times you'll be pulled aside. I have a great example of that. Diana Chavez was the national Mrs. US, and on stage, you saw it for yourself. Dr.
yeah,
Wynn stepped up and gave her a check for $2,500 to help the Homeless Coalition in LA.
yeah,
Unexpected. And now
unexpectedly.
here's funding for a program that this woman was able to take this and further her movement. And that
A
was
movement.
because another woman saw another need, came together, collaborated, and they rose up. And it's amazing to watch that.
Yeah,
It
because
drives me.
when women help women, the ripple effect is so great because we affect community and we
That's
affect
right.
we
It's really
affect
why I opened
children.
the Glow Up Photography Company here at Ivy Lee's, because I wanted to be able to give the platform for people who wanted to come in and have this level of hair and makeup by a team like this, and then immediately put them in front of a camera so that we could photograph them. And what are we doing? We're creating media for book covers and social media profiles and digital platforms where you need clean headshots. You need tight looking work of yourself. And I don't think that
It's so
even men
important.
and women at times understand how important that is. If you've been nominated for an award, you're asked to send in your media.
Yeah, there's a lot of times you're asked for a headshot, especially if you are elevating into leadership. You
That's right.
need to have updated, clean, well, not a selfie, people, not a
No.
selfie. You
No,
really
it
need to
takes a
have
team
great,
to build a team. And so I
yeah.
start here and have for years. And now I am, I've been so embraced by the team here as really their upper level package. It's been
Yay.
wonderful. I love being here with the team from Ivy Lee's. It's
I
great.
am super, super excited that
Yes.
we got a chance to talk, that you have been the first one on this platform that I'm
Wow.
creating for small businesses to get a shout out on Saturdays, because I think we all also, like you're saying, we all need to collaborate. We all need to know what each other does so that we can share. And maybe something you're doing is something I need, and I didn't even know that. So it's an
Right.
opportunity to share what you're doing with a greater community to figure out how we can all rise together.
That's it. Growing dollars, growing your brand, connecting your work to a bigger SEO than yourself. So this is how we all collaborate and we grow. If you're here and having your photos and your makeup done, this is the type of thing that you would tag into whatever media you were using that for.
Yeah.
So it's you know, at a point where it starts right from the bottom, how strong these social media platforms are. We have a lot of local talent that comes in here to have their hair and makeup done, and it's an amazing thing to be able to have, you know, anybody from the E channel or, you know, it's here working, knowing that they're having that best, and then being able to create media. Brides come in here, so like I said, the photographers from my platforms of the fashion. So it's amazing how every key point in your life, as you're building a wheelhouse, you're able to build and grow, and you are able to connect, let's just say Ivy Lee's with fashion or with the national magazine. This is a growing process.
Yeah.
And so it really is who and where you collaborate, where you put that energy. That's where you see those end results. That means so much.
And I see Marlena's here. She said, such an amazing interview, ladies. And she said, yep, no selfie photos for media. No. And our sister queen Di is here as well.
All really fantastic, supportive women. I'm not surprised that either one of those women have decided to come in and support you and I today.
Yeah, so she said
it's where that brainchild begins. When you feel that support, you want to do more.
Absolutely. So she said that social media branding is key to success as well. And that, Lisa, you are powerful. She is a very powerful woman. That's why
I'm only as powerful as the media that I'm given. Isn't that true? So It's funny because they make my job look very easy to do, because these are really dynamic women who are on their way. And so being able to highlight them out through our platforms and being able to work to show out on a national scale that you can achieve. That's what this is about. Women who achieve, and we're achieving during pandemics. And we're achieving as mothers, and we're achieving in business. And this isn't just an everyday occurrence. This is a focus that has to take place to stay on that point, to be able to keep moving forward. I don't know about you, but I felt like I've been moving a little through molasses. Is this Groundhog Day? Is it Tuesday?
Same, every day is the same. When are we going to fly again?
I'm very grateful to Marlena for keeping the course and knowing what is best for her brand, and being able to highlight women like yourself and myself, or Di Carter, or, you know, there's so many. I could go through a whole litany right now of you know, notables within the brand of Women of Achievement that make it such a powerful place to work.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. I know you're super busy there getting people beautiful and taking photos. So reach out to Lisa. Again, the way you can reach out is woa.magazine@gmail.com.
Media, woa.mag.media@gmail.com.
Let me see if I can put that in.
The easiest way, though, is just visit us on our website, womenofachievement.com. We have all of the information there for you. We have a People's Choice of vote going on right now with all of our California and international delegates. So you can have a voice. We will see your vote.
Okay, @gmail.com.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So you can definitely.
Or womenofachievement.com.
womenofachievement.media. .mag.media. Okay, I'll fix it.
Perfect.
I'm all on my own here. .mag.media.com. There we go. I
That's
got
our
it.
direct
I got
media
it right.
line to the
I got it
magazine.
right.
But like I said, everything is found on our website at womenofachievement.com.
Womenofachievement.com.
Yes.
All righty. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. And hopefully Marlena will join us and we can talk a little bit further about this and
She's a
another
fantastic
topic that
interview. You're going to
shout
have a
out.
lot of fun with that. I look
I'm
forward to
sure.
seeing you soon when some of this is all over and maybe
Yes,
a
my
glass of
dear.
wine and a recap.
Yeah, all right. Take care.
Be well.
Bye, hon.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So, Women of Achievement, that is the pageant that I did last year. They do such phenomenal work for women and elevating your own platform on a national level. So go to womenofachievement.com, check it out, connect with Lisa. Like I said, she's in this Small Business Saturday Shout Out group on Facebook. So check out Lisa. And let me see. Yes, there it is. Thank you, Di. Womenofachievement.com. I was trying to multitask and wasn't really happening. So next on deck, I read her bio before, but I'm going to give her her moment again and read it again, is Miss Thomesa Lydon. Thomesa is here. And so Thomesa is, if you missed it before, she is the author of Smart Living for Seniors, How to Make the Best of the Rest, is a concierge realtor with ReMax Excalibur in Arizona, and the CEO of Lydon Senior Pathways. She's a frequent speaker on let me take a breath. She's a frequent speaker on senior real estate and relocation at NASDAQ, Harvard, the Harvard Club of Boston, Coca-Cola, Mercedes-Benz, West Point, and she's been on ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox TV news and talk shows. Thomesa is a real estate specialist for seniors and a smart sizing expert. She provides comprehensive one-stop relocation planning, move management, and real estate services so seniors can enjoy the next chapter, the next living chapter of life by creating a strategic plan for themselves. So Thomesa, thank you so much for joining us here on Small Business Saturday Shout Out.
Thank you.
What have I not said about you?
Oh, my motto is if it's not fun, I'm done. And so here I am with you having fun today. And I have had fun and the great privilege of sharing my message and my mission on stages with Caitlyn Jenner. Yes, that Caitlyn. Suzanne Summers and Martha Stewart, among other celebrities that are aging and embracing the fact that our greatest generation and the boomers, which is what I am, need to strategically plan for that next living chapter of life. If you don't, it's going to catch up with you and there could be things you don't want to deal with. And I've been through that.
Because there's this myth, I think, of when you start getting older, that everything else stops.
I always say, a friend of mine said one time to me, and I use this comment all the time, aging is not an option, but getting old is. It's all in your heart and your head that you start aging, and you don't have to do that. You can just take this next chapter and live it to the fullest. My mother always said, you only live once. If you want it, you can have it, and you can't take it with you. So with those three things in mind, might as well enjoy it to the fullest, to the end.
Yes, because I don't know about you, but even though my chronological age is keeps climbing every year, that's how that happens, right? But I still feel like I'm a teenager. I still feel like I'm ready to take on the world.
Well, Alicia, I quit aging, I think, mentally at age 18. I'm 67 years old, and I consider myself a recycled teenager because I did quit aging in my mind at 18. My 38 and 42-year-old sons are more mature than I am, and I am okay with that.
Yes, because when we start thinking old, because that's one of the things that in my book too that I wrote down, is when we start thinking old, we start getting old.
True. That's a true fact. And why I started doing what I do is I watched my parents in their late 70s and as they graduated into the 80s, just begin losing the vibrance of their life. They quit doing things. They quit going places. They just sat on the sofa watching TV, holding hands. My sister and I used to joke that one of these days we're going to fly in and go visit them and open the door and they're going to be sitting there really passed away, but still holding hands on the sofa and the TV still going. But they lost their vibrance. And my dad had health issues. The writing was on the wall. We needed to handle things like that with how they were going to age and how they saw themselves aging in the next 10, 20, 30 years, even if they have or have not health issues. My dad had a lot of health issues. He had heart disease, COPD, lung disease, kidney disease, and diabetes. My mother, bless her heart, had Alzheimer's. So at the young age of 70, she started deteriorating mentally with Alzheimer's. And it was imperative to work with them and get a plan going. But you know how parents are. They don't want to hear about it. They're the adults. They're the parents. They got it all under control. And we hope that it all goes well, but we as kids want the best for them. And I think back about the years when I was a kid and they wanted to have that birds and the bees conversation. I didn't want any part of that either. But sometimes I look back and go, maybe that would have been a good choice to listen. But anyway, I digress on that one. But my mom ended up home alone with Alzheimer's. I got that urgent call from my sister, hanging out at the pool, having fun. My sister calls to say, hey, you got to get to mom and dad right now. Well, she lived in Dallas. I lived in Phoenix. My folks were in San Antonio. She's much closer than I am, but there were storms everywhere and streets were flooded. The airports in Dallas were closed. So I jumped the next flight out of Phoenix and I enter my mom's house at 11:35 p.m. It's pitch black because San Antonio was powerless, had no power in the city. And there she is. I'm looking for her and she's curled up in a fetal position crying for her husband. And she is deep into late stages of Alzheimer's. And I knew right then that I had to help my parents make the best of the rest. They didn't want to talk about anything, but they kind of forced me to write the book, Smart Living for Seniors, How to Make the Best of the Rest, because I didn't want to see anybody, family or individuals, go through this. It's emotional, physical, definitely financially draining. And if we can help them move forward with a plan to live great, then why not? But I have the 60-40 rule. And that is when parents are in their 60s and the kids are in their 40s, it's time to let the conversations begin about how the parents see themselves living. And if something happens, what's going to take place so that you don't end up in a crisis. And that's what my family did. We made all the mistakes and we had a crisis. So it can be avoided with a plan.
But if someone's in crisis right now, what are some things that they should be looking for as help?
Well, first of all, every city has an area on aging agency. It's AAA basically, but it's the area agency on aging. And so you can contact that in your state. You can Google it whatever city, and find out what needs you may have, that they may have programs or some help. There's a lot of help out there. And the senior industry is kind of difficult to navigate. Mm-hmm. And one of my missions has been to put a senior resource library together, which I'm working across the country to bring in industries, brands, entrepreneurs, consultants, coaches, anyone that has any information or services or products for seniors, to have that on one platform so that seniors can go to that library and find help they need across the country. So anyone that's interested in that,
it's almost like they're forgotten, like they help build a country, help build economies, help do all this stuff. And then they get to a certain age and Alicia,
you're right. They're the greatest generation. and they deserve the respect and dignity at this time in life. And a lot of them, as we've discovered in this pandemic, a lot of them are still living in that large, high maintenance home where they're consumed with the time, effort, and energy and the money to contain and maintain it. So it's very important at some point for the family, if they have family members around, to sit and have a conversation with the senior and say, hey, here are some options for living in a smaller, more manageable space, maybe even safer from falling hazards. Falling is the #1 accident among seniors. And the statistics on that is horrible because within 12 months, 1 of 2 seniors that fall, 1 of them will die because they start to decline. And that's a national stat that we can avoid if we can prevent falls. So safer environments, more social environments where they can thrive and have people to laugh with, talk to, dance.
And keep that brain and the excitement young and happening.
You have to keep that going. And if I couldn't laugh and dance, I mean, there's not a lot of places to go to anymore unless you're in a mask. But luckily we're not on lockdown. But I tell you, I just dance around my house because that keeps me happy.
Yeah.
And if I can't laugh, I don't know what I would do. But laughing, dancing, reading jokes. A lot of people like to meditate. I can't sit still long enough to do that. At some point, I may do that at some point. But there's so much social energy that you can connect to if you just reach out and try. But those people, those seniors especially that have been kind of on lockdown or stuck at home in these large homes during this pandemic are finding that they're getting depressed, they're isolated, they're lonely, and we have to get a handle on that and start helping them out. So if you live by a senior or you know a senior, reach out, call them, go visit them if you can, because it can get lonely out there. And we're finding that out in all ages now as we stay home and kind of endure the pandemic.
Because they actually in Florida here, they just allowed visitors again into senior facilities to be able to go visit because it's been tough.
They have been on lockdown because our senior demographics are the high risk. And when they're in a community, depending on how the outbreak affected that community, they're kind of on a lockdown. And it's been sad to watch people just go up to the window and hug and, kiss on their loved ones. But, those are the options they have for living in smaller spaces, is going to a senior community, whether it's independent, assisted, or memory care. But there are also other options in smaller homes where if you need health care, you can sell the large home, get the equity out of that, buy a smaller home, and then you have funds to provide in-home care to take care of you. So my mission is to help people realize there are options. So from consultation to close of escrow and everything in between, I help them realize because of how we assess what their needs are, all the things that they have options to make a choice with. And a lot of people don't know there are choices. And sometimes it's getting rid of all that stuff they have, but stuff is just stuff. What people call downsize, I call smart size. When you do that, it's smart sizing. It's the smartest thing you could ever do. When you do that, you really do. I work on capturing their essence as we go through their home to take and choose what's going to fit in their smaller space. I want a story. I want to hear their story about some of the items they love. And we make sure we capture their essence and move it with them. So when people feel like it's doom and gloom, death and dying, if they had to move out of the home they've been in for 20, 30, 40 years, they have to get a different mindset and realize they're going to be safer, be more social, have interaction with others. Their essence is going to be with them, and they will really gain more freedom and independence than they can even imagine.
That is beautiful. And I know that there are people out there that are struggling with what you went through, and it's not necessary to do that. And so I just want to remind everyone, the agency that you're talking about, Thomesa mentioned the AAA, which is the Area Agency on Aging. Was that it?
Yes.
In your city, in your state, to reach out, do a Google search, and reach out to them. Do they provide medical, like information on how to take care of medical needs?
They have almost every aspect of what your needs could be, right down to during the pandemic, they had a phone number to call here locally where if you needed food, you got food. They'd bring you food. If you need in-home care, they're going to help you get from different price levels. Some of them are, zero fees to whatever someone can afford. But those agencies are great. And I tell you, if anybody is listening to this and wants to be in that senior resource library, they can text the word SMART, SMART, to 602-456-1976. And I can get you all the information you need on that, because that's going to be such a helpful tool in one location for seniors to find out about anything and everything.
Okay, let me write that in again. The number to text is 602
602-456 1976.
76. So this is a resource that you guys can get from Thomesa. She is going to share with you how to get a hold of the things that you need for seniors. If your parents are aging, they're elderly, and they're having some challenges, text in to Thomesa in order to get the resource guide that you need to help, to find the help that you need.
Right. We can get them and steered in the right direction, because that's important.
Yeah.
And it's all about youthful minds over aging matters, and looking at it in all different aspects of where you are in life, what your health situations are. It can all still be living the best, making the best of the rest. And actually size matters, but resize matters more when it comes to where you live and how that environment affects you, your health, and your situation.
So listen, this is a small business community. All of us here in the small business community, if you have aging parents, Thomesa is in our community. So reach out to Thomesa and really take advantage of the resources that she has, that she's offering to you, because this is a woman that took what she was doing. She had a love for real estate and niched it in an area where people have kind of forgotten about our seniors, because we're so busy building our own lives that we forget about our parents until something happens.
Yes. And Alicia, if you haven't, or if your listeners have not had that urgent phone call saying they need to get from their town to somebody else's town immediately to take care of an aging parent or loved one, if it hasn't happened yet, it will. So plan for that. It's prepare in advance. Let your desires be known, acknowledge your safety concerns, and never give up that youthful heart and mind. But if anyone wants to go to my website, it's Thomesa.com. It's just as simple as that. If you can spell the word, spell the name, you got it covered.
You got it covered.
But planning in advance is critical and key to making it the best of the rest.
Yeah. And tell us how you came to speak at all these amazing places. Like, what led you into speaking at NASDAQ and the Harvard Club of Boston and Coca-Cola and Mercedes-Benz and West Point? Because that's exciting.
That has been very exciting. And I've been privileged to be invited to share this message, because seniors are kind of drifting into the background, and we're just, like you said, we're kind of overlooking them until there's a crisis. So my mission to my madness is to empower and educate baby boomers and their parents to know that you can make a difference in the next chapter of your life. You can avoid or eliminate emotional, physical, financial stress. And I felt like the platform best suited for this were the live events in big places with lots of people. And I've always, this is funny, I've always wanted to be a model since I was 13 years old, and I never did. But at age 67, I feel like I'm going to be the model for the senior industry of how you can achieve and enjoy this next chapter. I'm on Medicare, I'm on Social Security, and I'm having fun.
You are the best model ever. You're the best spokesperson ever that I've ever met on this topic. You know, I met you at Carnegie Hall last year.
Right.
For the first time, and I'm so excited and glad that we did meet. So sometimes what you have or what you're doing, so like I said, she took her real estate and it kind of collided with now a mission or a passion of hers. So if you're thinking about having a business, or you have a business and then you have something else over here and you're not sure how to make it all work together, you know, talk to Thomesa. She might be able to tell you, listen, this is how I was able to pull these two things together, because sometimes we have a job and we have a business and we're trying to keep everything separate, and we're trying to keep parts of our lives kind of sterilized from each other. And no, you came out, you wrote a book, you said, this is what happened to me in my life. And now I use what I know with my experience to create a better world.
And it doesn't hurt to have been an Air Force brat that moves around the block or around the world and can do it efficiently. We moved about every 2 years all my life growing up. And so moving to me isn't as stressful feeling as it is to most people. So I can kind of bring...
Yeah. I don't ever want to move again.
A lot of people don't.
Oh, yeah.
So putting all that together, it takes a team. It used to take a village to raise us. Now we say it takes a team to kind of move forward. And anybody that's out there looking to go into business, just pull. You're right. Pull from all your pluses and see what you put in a pile, and you can make anything out of nothing. And you can make something out of anything. So just go for it, get out there and be the spokesperson for what you love and what's your passion.
Yeah. So how can we get your book?
It is on Amazon. It's Smart Living for Seniors, How to Make the Best of the Rest. It is on Amazon. And I do need to get an ebook. Pardon me?
You tell your story in the book?
I tell my story. I give tips on how to get started, where to start, how to make it fun. And then there's just a lot of different stories inside there about different aspects about the options and some poems. And it just kind of is more of a lighthearted way to look at what are you going to do next.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Why bother doing it if you can't find fun in doing it, right?
If it's not fun, I'm done.
This is why I love you, Thomesa. This is why I need to hang around you always, because you are so youthful in everything you do, in your appearance. And I mean, look at you. You're speaking all over the stages, all over the country. You're going on television. You know, most people at 67, they're like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
No, you're just making the best of the rest for you. So what do your kids think about all of this that you're doing?
You know, I think they used to be a little bit embarrassed by me, but now they've just embraced it and they're okay with it. They share my post and they're, you know, all about it. So yay, thank you guys. I have a firefighter and a former Marine, and I tell you, I couldn't be more proud of them, and 3 grandkids that are just a passion. So you just got to keep on enjoying every bit of it. We all have our adversities, and hey, this pandemic has created, you know, good and bad, but I think a lot of people are coming out on the other side of it going, hey, we got to think differently and what's most important, and our family is most important.
Yes. And taking care of every member of the family, which is, you know, again, don't just focus on, if you have children and you're focusing on your kids, really focus on your parents. Because my mom she's staying with me because of the pandemic. She lives in Trinidad, but she came up here for something, and then the lockdown hit, and she's stuck with me. And I am really enjoying having her here. But at the same time, I noticed that she's having some memory challenges. And so it's about really trying to enjoy the time that we have together with the vibrant, vital woman that she is now, because she is having some challenges with her memory and what and some things that are happening, and I can see it happening, and I know that it's not going to get better and better and better as she gets older and older. So I am so thankful for the time, because otherwise she lives in Trinidad, I live up here, we don't get to see each other. So the pandemic has given me an opportunity to spend all this time with her since December of last year. So
that is awesome. And I tell you, video things, have little conversations and talk about them. Have her write down thoughts and memories. My mom suffered and died of Alzheimer's after 14 years. The last 4 years, she did not know who I was, but I knew who she was, and I could still share stories with her. And some of the stories she would share were from old memories that she still had, because Alzheimer's kind of reverses, takes care of, it goes backwards.
Newer things and starts,
She would be telling stories about things that she'd never shared with me, but it was such a blessing to finally hear those. Even though we were in this horrible situation with Alzheimer's, I had never heard those stories. And it was such a joy. And so I just encourage everyone out there, especially if you have loved ones with dementia, video stuff, and just jot down and play and have fun and have lots of music, because Alive Inside is a charity about Alzheimer's and memory and music. And it can bring back a lot of memories and activity in the brain of someone that is suffering with Alzheimer's. So
she loves to play puzzles. She loves to do puzzles and Sudoku and stuff. So she spends a lot of time doing those things
keeping that brain going.
To keep that brain going. Exactly. But I'm so thankful of the time that I have to spend with her, that we didn't have, and the time my children get to know her, because again, she doesn't live in this country, so they have time to spend to get to know her. When she goes back, I don't know when we're going to see her again. So
what a blessing the pandemic has in creating that for your family.
That has definitely been a blessing, that I counted as a blessing, that she's here and helping me out and stuff. So I love that. So guys, really, look again, the agency, if you're having challenges with your parents health-wise, just trying to find ways to help them out at this time of their lives. Go to the area, I wrote it down, Area Agency on Aging.
It's a hard one, but they can also just text my number. They can text SMART to that number that you gave them. Let me put it back
up there. Yep. Text.
Yeah. And I can help them get steered to the right
in the right direction. Please contact Thomesa, because this is what she does. This is what she's doing. And if you need to relocate your parents, if they need to downsize, if you need to find space for them, if you need a home for them, she is a realtor, in addition to all this wonderful marvelousness that she's doing, traveling the country and being all awesome. But she can help you find the right home, the right place for them, so that you can feel comfortable leaving them where they are. Because like Thomesa said, falls are the number one hazards for seniors. Falling down. What did you say? 1 out of 2?
1 out of 2 will die in the first 12 months.
Die in the first 12 months after experiencing a fall. So we don't want to have any dangerous situations. They may love their house. They may think, but their house could be a challenge for them. So.
And one last thing, Alicia, I'll say, many of your viewers are from across the country. And because I'm in Arizona, it does not mean I can't help them in any state. I have referral business with realtors that are real estate specialists for seniors, and as senior move managers, which I'm certified in, and connect with other senior move managers in different states so they can have the whole process taken care of and really simplify everything.
Yeah, there you go. Have a plan. What is plan again?
Prepare in advance, let your desires be known, acknowledge your safety concerns, and never give up that youthful heart and mind.
Yay! Have a plan for your aging parents. Sit down and have that difficult conversation, have that conversation with them so that you can be prepared and not get that call in the middle of the night that is the scariest call, and then have to rush to now try to figure out what to do because you've already set a plan in place for them. So Thomesa, if you have any questions on seniors and how they're living and how, just reach out to Thomesa. Again,
we'll have a chat.
Have a chat with her. Have a chat. There it is. Text the word, I put work. Text the word SMART to 602-456-1976. So text not the work, but the word. Yeah, I'm typing challenge while I'm trying to listen at the same time. So I'm multitasking. Anyway.
I think you're doing a great job, and this is a great platform. So kudos to you for putting it together.
Thank you, because I think that in the small business community, we really need to support one another to grow. Like Lisa said in the first part of this package, if we can support one another, we'll all grow faster, especially in these times in this pandemic. Sometimes we don't not necessarily have the money to spend that we did before, but we can have conversations. We can share our knowledge with each other. We can share resources with each other. And that can help everybody sort of, what it says, a rising tide lifts all boats. We can be that rising tide that lifts all the boats, lifts all of us up. So Small Business Saturday shout out. Join our community at facebook.com/groups/small business Saturday shoutouts. Every Saturday, as long as I have a guest that books in, we will be here doing our little small businesses. So anything else you want to share before we close up, Miss Thomesa?
I just want to say, make it the best of the rest and keep that youthful mind over aging matters, because it does.
Thank you. Mwah, mwah. I appreciate you.
Virtual hug.
Well, virtual hug, not only because of the pandemic, but you're in Arizona and I'm in Florida. So we have to virtually hug. All right. Okay, hon.
Thanks for the fun.
So much.
Bye.
So next week, actually, we do have a couple other businesses that we're going to highlight next week on Small Business Saturday. Shout out. I am so thankful for those of you who joined and who left comments. And, if this was helpful to you, leave a comment, like, share. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, come and join us in our community so that you can also meet great people like Thomesa and Lisa Sussman and really find a way to support their movements and their efforts as they will also support yours. So I am Alicia Couri, and I thank you so much for joining me today. And again, join us. Small Business Saturday shout out. Mwah. Take care, everybody. Bye.